Welcome, everybody. You're here with the Next Man Up Sportscast crew, Mandy and Edward, and we're here today to give you our picks for the MLB season. Who's going to win what division? Who's going to make the wild card? And then we'll talk about some betting odds, kind of what you're looking at if you're going to put some money down on those things. So, Mandy, you done your research or what?
Heck yeah, man. I actually got my iPad, got the laptop going, baby. I got my mind going. Dude, lock it in. I got the 6 winners right here, baby. And you'll be shocked at who I pick.
I promise you, I got the winners and the wild cards. Everything's going to be perfect. But we'll see what we got. So let's start off with what I think is one of the hardest divisions in baseball, if not the hardest division in baseball.
Overrated. Overrated.
Oh man, I would say that about the Dodgers, but I'm gonna be a nice guy today. So we got the AL East, and I think honestly the runaway favorite here is the New York Yankees. The pitching that they added, the bats that they have, as long as these guys can get healthy, you're gonna if you're gonna put any money down, it's not. I mean, you're not gonna get a good return because they're minus 298 because they're running away with this division. They really are, especially in this shortened season. I think it really favors the Yankees and their bats. So yeah, I've got the Yankees. Who do you got in the AL East, Mandy?
Look, saying that, that's a cute pick, okay? But again, you got the Tampa Bay Rays, okay? Oh, okay. Got the Rays who got Hunter Renfroe. Don't get him confused with the receiver from the Raiders, okay? This guy has pop. He could hit, okay? Rays came out with a 96-win season. Yeah, all that being said, baby, watch the AL East champions, the New York Yankees. It's going to be a runaway.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's not going to be close, man.
Yeah, that team is low.
All their bats, it's not even going to be close, man. Yankees, another, I say 40 wins easy.
Out of 60 games, yeah, 40 wins I think is a good amount. I think they might get to 50. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then so moving on to a really saucy, interesting division, and really over the offseason got even more interesting.
Yes.
AL Central. Who's your pick?
I'm doing my notes for the show, and the AL Central got a bunch of red ink on it, a bunch of additions, a bunch of people here, but the teams. So I'm going to go straight into it. Who I like? Well, how about this? I'm going to tell you who I don't like.
Okay.
Everyone's going to say, oh, the Twins, 101 wins. Josh Donaldson. I cannot stand Josh Donaldson. He is the reason why high school kids, little kids, are doing that stupid launch angle. He's the creator of this launch angle and swinging up and 100 strikeout seasons. No, I can't stand
I love
Josh
home
Donaldson.
runs.
Yeah, long ball, right? He's okay. But no, who I'm going to pick is Chicago White Sox.
Oh.
Under 500 last year, 72 wins. Okay, it's okay. This year, they're going to be the AL Central champions. Let me just say, okay, look at this lineup. You got Tim Anderson, the AL batting champ, 335 last year. Okay, then you got Yovan Moncada, stud. And then you got the Cuban bats, baby. I'm Cuban. Got the Cuban back-to-back bats, Jose Abreu and Yasmani Grandal, baby. The Cuban power in the middle, and you top it off with Edwin Encarnacion, the Chicago White Sox, AL Central champs. Lock it in, baby.
I love the pick. I really do. I really like the pick. But you're wrong. So I love the pick for so many reasons. And they did us so good in free agency, but that team is 1, maybe 2 injuries away from not being a good team. They don't really have depth. They added those guys and it's awesome. But Edwin Encarnacion played for the Yankees last year and he sat out a ton of games. And if he's a guy that they're going to be relying on, it's not good. Especially Yasmani Grandal. We know his injury history as well. So guys like that, once they don't have him available, that team goes from being, above 500 team, and I like them, to being mid-tier, lower 500 team. So with that being said, I'm going to take the team that added depth to their lineup, added some pitching, and hit the most home runs in baseball last year. I'm going to take the Minnesota Twins. I know it's they're minus 143. They're the favorites to win that division, but give me the Minnesota Twins to win that division again. They get off to a hot start. And like I said, they just added more bats. Like you said, Josh Donaldson, 100 strikeouts, but the guy's gonna get you a ton of home runs, and he plays the outfield pretty well. So give me the Twins in the AL Central. I love the White Sox pick though, but unfortunately, you're gonna be wrong. So AL West. Who do you? I mean,
So,
in the AL West, you got the Astros who are still favored, the big
boo,
cheaters, the
trash
big
can. Bah,
cheaters.
bah, 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 bah.
Right. And they can't do it. They can't do that this year. So AL West, they're still minus 167 odds to win that division. And it's because they still have a ton of talent. They still got Verlander going strong. They still got, Altuve, who's a former MVP, not well deserved, but hey, it is what it is. Who do you got? AL West.
So the sexy pick, he says the Astros. Another sexy pick would be the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim,
Oh,
right? No, I'm not picking that. I'm just saying that's a sexy pick, right?
it is. Yeah.
Rendon, right? Mike Trout, the
Trout,
best player in
Shohei
the major leagues,
Ohtani.
hands down. Okay, stop there. You cannot win with the Angels when your ace is going to be Ohtani.
Oh, I'm
That's
not
your
saying,
ace.
yeah, no, that's true. And that he is
That's
their
your
ace
ace.
and he's not an ace. Yeah, no, I
No,
agree.
no, the Angels have no pitching, and like I said last time,
Little
to make it
pitching.
to the World Series, you need pitching. Angels are not going to win the AL West. Neither are the Astros.
Oh,
Who's
who's your
who's
pick?
left? Oakland A's, baby, the best young team in the major leagues, the best lineup of unknown athletes. Top to
Yeah,
bottom,
I agree
they
with
had
that.
97 wins last year. 97. And they had one of the best shortstops in the league. Marcus Semien finished third in the AL MVP. They added second baseman Tony Kemp, who could hit the crap out of the ball, and
Agreed.
one of the best third basemen in the major leagues,
Chapman.
Matt Chapman.
Yeah,
Look, Billy Bean, VP of Baseball Operations, Moneyball, Oakland A's,
killing it.
AL West champions, baby. Who you got?
Killing it. I am gonna, unfortunately, I actually like the A's too a lot, but I only like the A's contingent on one thing. Chris Davis, he's got to go. He had a terrible year last year from a guy who was killing it, hitting
Smash
home runs left
Davis.
and right. Yeah, just having a great year. He was terrible last year. He was a liability for that team. If they can move Chris Davis and get his contract somewhere else and pick up a couple more bats or maybe
Oh, they
some
will.
relief pitchers, if they trade him, give me the A's to win that division. Also, I would agree with you there. If they don't trade him, if they don't add a couple more guys, you could potentially see the Astros win again just because of their depth. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna agree with you on this pick. I would put some money down on it too. The A's are plus 260 odds to win that division. I think it's not a bad bet at all. So give me the A's also in the AL West.
Good boy.
So
Good
you
brother.
got you
Good.
got one. You got
Uh,
one. That's not bad. All right. So switching gears, and we're going to the NL division. So the NL is going to be unique this year, right? They're going to allow the
DH.
DH. They're going to allow the
Yep.
DH. It's something that we haven't seen ever. First time in baseball history. And I don't know about you, but I love the DH position. I love it. I don't like watching pitchers hit. I can't stand it. I don't who cares? Well, Clayton Kershaw gets up to the plate. Sometimes he hits. Cool. That's exciting.
That's
It's fun.
amazing.
It's one in every 40 though. Give me. You wouldn't have a David Ortiz without the DH position.
If there was not
Pujols
a
wouldn't still be
look,
playing. Miguel Cabrera. You want to see those guys bat. I want to
how
see
about
them
this?
bat.
I want to see my best pitcher hitting was Big Sexy Bartolo Colon.
Oh man,
Come
legendary
on.
home run.
Who doesn't want to see that guy
Legendary.
hit? Come on.
Legendary. Yeah, but okay,
Anyway, NL
but all
East.
the switching, I get it. It's cool for the managers, but I think now, like I said, you get to add some guys in the NL that you would never have seen play there for the 60-game season, and they just get to hit. So that being said, NL East, this is a tough, grinded out division.
The best division in Major League Baseball is the NL East.
I would say they're up there. Yeah, I would say they're up there. Who do you got? Who do you got winning it though?
The NL East is disgustingly packed. It's top heavy. Last year, the top four teams had a 500 or better record. Yeah, they had the Marlins. Marlins are the worst, but whatever. They have four teams, okay, who I'm going to pick this year and put it down. World Series contenders, okay? The New York Mets, baby. The
Wow.
New York Mets. Why?
York pitching.
Yes, they lost Noah Syndergaard. He's an animal, okay? They lost him. But they still have the Cy Young and Jacob deGrom. They added Rick Porcello, Michael Wacha. Those last two guys, some say they're washed out. If they just go back to half of what they were, they're going to be studs. And they got Marcus Stroman. And they
Stroman.
got
Solid.
yeah. And they got one of the best young bats. Well, actually, the best young bat.
Pete Alonso.
The polar bear, baby.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if you've been watching the interleague, kind of like the exhibition games, but man, he looked really bad against the Yankees, and I really attribute that to everybody has his tape now. They're pitching him outside, and he's just not hitting it the
it's
other
okay.
way.
It's okay. Look, you know who's going to protect him in the lineup? Another Cuban-born player. Come on, guess who it is? Cespedes, baby. Cespedes is
Yoenis,
back in
well,
New.
is he active?
He's back in New York,
Okay,
baby. He's back
finally.
in New York. Cespedes and Pete Alonso, the New York Mets. Last year, 86 wins. Watch them this year. NL East champions. Possible NL champions going to the World
That is
Series.
so that's a huge step. And if you're tailing Mandy, I mean that's a plus 297 odds for the Mets to win the NL East. That's pretty
Oh,
impressive, man. And he's taking that chance and going with that when you got the Phillies in there, who I think they're better than the Phillies. I'll give you that. You
yeah.
got the returning champs, the Nationals coming in there. That's
Oof.
scary with their pitching staff, and that they haven't really lost anything. But the team that's favored, but still, I mean, the odds are plus 198.
Yeah, it's
Would
open
be
division.
open division. Um,
The Braves.
but my pick, as much as I don't like this pick at all, but it's the only one that
Don't
makes
say
me
the
feel.
Florida Marlins.
It's the only one
Oh,
that
God.
plus 11,667 on the Marlins
Ah,
to win the division, but that's
yeah.
not happening. Put a buck on them though, just in case. But my pick, as much as I hate it, and as much as I don't even want to pick it, I'm gonna have to take the Nationals. I know they didn't win. They didn't even win the division last year,
Yeah.
but we know they're here, and I know they lost Rendon. But I know we talked about on another show that you don't even like Juan Soto or you forgot about him. But Juan
Yeah.
Soto he's a stud.
He's
20
good.
years old, and he had ice in his veins the whole time in the playoffs. People know he's here, and people know the Nationals are here. So give me the Nats to win that division. And I think it's going to be a really hard fought division. Like you said, you could see the Mets win it. It's true. It's
Mhm.
possible. The odds from them and the Nationals aren't very far apart. But give me the Nats. Give me the guys who have been there.
All right.
Um,
I respect that.
yeah. Moving to the NL Central. Another, like, the NL's got some tough divisions here.
Yeah.
But moving to the NL Central, um,
This one
you'd
was
be
tough.
surprised at who's favored, actually. The Cubs are actually plus 235 favored.
Yeah.
Um, right behind them is the Cardinals at plus 240. So who do you
Hearing
got?
that, like, you could tell the NL East and NL Central are wide open because there's no clear favorite. With that being
100%.
said, I'm going to go with that team last year that went in as a wild card, the
Okay.
Brewers.
I
The
like the
Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers.
Yeah, man. Look, Christian Yelich, if I'm not mistaken, he got hurt last year at the end of the
He
year,
did.
right?
He did. Yep.
And he's a phenomenal player. He's a stud. And they
What
got
team? What team
Lorenzo,
was he on before the Brewers? You
the
remember?
Florida Marlins, baby.
Derek Jeter. What's going
Yeah,
on, man? What's
yeah.
going on?
So look, the Brewers got Christian Yelich. They got Lorenzo Kane in the outfield, right? And they added Justin Smoke in the first baseman.
Yep.
Okay, I believe they had the best relief pitcher in all of Major League Baseball. You know, some people have opinions about him and his racist comments, but Josh Hader is a stud.
He's a
And the
hater
Brewers,
too.
yeah, he's a hater. Yeah. The Brewers, they don't rely on their starting pitching. The Brewers are going to go into the season with the most pitchers on the roster. Why? Because they rely heavily on their relief pitching. You see the starters go maybe 4, 5, 6 innings, and the relief pitchers led by Josh Hader are going to take them to the NL Central Championship, baby.
Yeah, they definitely have the same model as the Yankees in the
Yep.
AL East, where you got your bullpen's going to do a big chunk of the work.
Mhm.
Having said all that, and I think that the Brewers are awesome. I love the Brewers team, and I would love to pick them, but I can't. I can't pick them in this situation. I
Okay.
gotta
Who
go.
you got?
I gotta go with the team that a lot of Dodger fans really don't like. I gotta go with the Chicago Cubs. And as much as I don't want to, as I'm not a big Cubs fan either. I don't really like the Cubs, but that team is built to win a World Series, and they have been since they
Really?
won. They have been since they won that World Series. They have Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo. They got the Javi Baez is probably one of the best young players in baseball. Top to bottom, that team can hit. Their pitching does need to improve, and I think that they move one of those guys eventually to get them some pitching. And if they do that, I think it might be one of those addition by subtraction things where, like, Chris Bryant, yeah, he won the MVP, all that good stuff. I think you trade Chris Bryant, get you 2 or 3 arms, and you go
Wow.
from there. Yeah, I love Chris Bryant. I think he's great. He didn't have a great year last year, but Javi Baez is the star of that team. You keep Javi Baez, and then you let go of Chris Bryant, bring in some pitching. The Cubs are gonna win. Cubs are gonna win the NL Central. That's all I'm gonna say. Plus 235 though. That's not a bad bet. But the Brewers plus 303. Whew. That's a gambler's. Yeah, you take that bet.
Money,
You put
baby.
you put money on that bet. And that's not a bad one either. And then so the last division,
Which has the
the
best team in Major League Baseball. Continue.
arguably, they have the lowest. I mean, they're minus 622 to win their division, which
Wow.
I don't know if that speaks to how good the Dodgers are or if that speaks to how
How
bad that
bad?
division is.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers are minus 622 to win the NL West.
That's
Uh,
that's a lot.
this is like kind of the Yankees pick. It's a really easy one to make. I think you take the Dodgers are going to win the NL West, in my opinion. They probably run away with it real early. But I mean, it's not to say that this division is not going to put up a fight. I mean, you
A
got
lot of a lot of young talent.
a ton of young
Padre.
and
The
the Padres
Padres
have one of the
is
best bullpens. They have one
yes.
of the best bullpens in
Yes.
baseball.
Yes.
And they have this kid. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now. He's
Tatis.
about, huh?
Tatis.
Not Tatis. I love Tatis Jr.
Uh,
He's the man. But they have a reliever in that bullpen that not a lot of
yeah.
people know about. Castaneda, I want to say his last name is. He's a young kid. He's about 20 to 21 years old. And the kid throws like a Aroldis Chapman speed. He throws 102, I think he hit 103 in a game.
Wow.
And they just haven't used him very much, but they have a great bullpen in there. This division is going to be, I think, besides the Dodgers really beating up on everybody, it's going to be pretty hard fought. But I mean, would you agree Dodgers taking the NL West? Sorry.
Yes, Caleb. The Dodgers fan, LA guy. That they have the deepest lineup roster in the major leagues. The deepest. They have so many interchangeable parts. They have so many people who could play different positions. Bellinger could play first base in the outfield. Max Muncy could play first base, second base, third base. Josh Turner. All these guys could play different positions. Chris Taylor, right? Kike Hernandez, studs. But you know who the key is to the Dodgers not just winning the NL West, but win a World Series? The key, mark my words, listen to me.
You're not going to say David Price, are you?
No, but he's done. He's not. He can't
Okay.
play. He whatever. Not playing. Julio Urias. This is his time to shine. His time. They got rid of Ryu. I feel they let Ryu walk.
For
the Blue
Urias?
Jays overpay for him, right? He's always getting hurt. Julio Urias will be that dominant left-handed starter in the Dodgers rotation. If he comes out throwing flames and just annihilating people, the Dodgers will win the World Series. If he's a bust,
they're not going to win.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You know,
I think
Kershaw, Urias, they're looking good.
As much as the Dodgers did a good job of adding Mookie Betts in the offseason,
yes,
it just wasn't what they needed, man. They needed some pitching, right? So, but maybe it's what you say. Maybe they believe in their young guys. Maybe they believe in Urias. I don't like Dustin May. I don't think he's as good as people hype him up to be. But I really like Tony Gonsolin. And I think Tony Gonsolin's a guy that they need to bring up and let him either, get some time in the pen or pitch. But to be honest, the Dodgers lost Kenta Maeda. They lost Ryu. Yeah. They lost some arms on that and that bullpen and in the starting lineup that did really well. And I think Mookie Betts, well, he's great, and you don't get mad for getting Mookie Betts on your team. You should have got pitching. And I don't think the Dodgers are any better than they were last year. Which is not to say that they were like
wins.
Yeah, they were the best team in baseball last year, right? So we thought until they met the Nationals. It happened. Right? But you thought the same thing on the AL East when the Yankees met the Astros. Of course, they cheated, whatever it is. But I think the Dodgers didn't do much to help their team this year. Offensively, they were great already. They were juggernauts already, and they just added more offense. So I don't think they're any better off. I just think that they
rely more. They're going to rely more on their young arms. Like I said,
that's what it seems like. Gonsolin,
right? Stripling. Yeah. They're going to go ahead and rely on their young arms. Let the veteran arms walk, like you said, the Maeda, which I love Maeda. Yeah. I absolutely love Maeda.
Killer out of the bullpen.
Right. They let Maeda walk, Ryu walk, because it's time for the young guns to come in and replace them. Which, you know what, it should be a good thing. It's going to be good.
So That being said, we got the division winners.
Yeah.
And of course, you don't not just division winners make playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, who are your wild card picks in the AL? Give me your two wild card picks.
I'm gonna go with the number one team. I'm gonna go with the Houston Astros.
Okay,
Houston
since
Astros.
you
Yeah.
picked the A's, yep.
They picked the A's, and I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Twins.
Hmm,
So nobody
interesting.
from the East. The Boston Red Sox, for all that,
Washed.
for being a big market, they they're gonna be horrible. I don't think they're gonna be well.
I want to agree with you because I hate Boston being a
Yeah,
Yankee fan,
yeah,
but they have Rafael Devers. They still have Rafael Devers. They still have Xander Bogaerts, and they still have JD Martinez. Three guys that could potentially hit over 300.
JD Martinez like 50 years old already, bro.
Hey, but I was at the game where JD Martinez hit 4 home runs against the Dodgers. That was pretty awesome. The dude's pretty awesome. So, I still got a lot of love for that guy, even though I hate him now. And
Yes.
they still got a lot of talent. Jackie Bradley Jr.,
Yeah.
Brock Hull, all those guys. So,
So who do you got?
Boston. Okay, I don't have Boston, but I just think that we can't count them out
Hey,
ever because they're Boston. Um, but I'm gonna kind of it's kind of similar, but I'm gonna go with the Rays because
okay.
I think at the end of the year their pitching's going to show and they're going to be one of those like Moneyball teams like you talked about with the A's.
Uh-huh.
And I'm actually not going to pick the Astros to make the playoffs. And for my second team, I'm going to go with a team that you don't particularly like, especially being a Dodger fan, being in LA. Give me the Los Angeles Angels.
Wow.
Mike Trout is finally going to
No,
get
you're right.
gonna get something with Rendon backing him up, protecting his bat. He still has Pujols there who can still hit. Shohei Ohtani is a good hitter. Give me the Angels. Their offense is gonna lead them to a playoff berth for the first
No, you're
time in
right.
who knows how
Look,
long.
the 3, 4, 5 hitters, the Trout, Otani, and Rendon, that's a
And
deadly lineup.
Pujols. And
And then
Pujols.
Pujols could hit 225, right? 230. That's scary. No, you're right. I'll give you that. I respect that.
The Angels. And they get to play. I mean, the A's are gonna be tough. Don't get me wrong, but they get to play the Rangers and they get to play Seattle quite a bit. So give me the Angels. And then in the NL, who you got?
All both teams, I have mad respect for this division. The NL East are going to have two teams, well, three teams in the playoffs. They're going to have the Mets as the NL East
Division
champions.
winners, yeah.
Yes. And then we go with the Braves and Nationals.
Braves and Nats.
Braves and
Not
Nationals, baby. The Nationals, I'm sorry, the Braves and the Nationals. Yeah, Nationals
yep,
with Juan Soto with their awesome pitching staff, defending
not
World
a
Series
bad pick.
champions.
Not a
Yeah,
bad
and the
pick.
Braves, they got it. But what scares me about the Braves is if they get Freddie Freeman back.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
And yeah, he's the leader of that team. I mean, he might
yeah.
not be the best bat. It's probably Acuna. I love Acuna,
Oh
but
my, 40-40?
it's possible he might be the next
40-40?
guy. I think if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Bellinger first, but Acuna is definitely one of those guys too.
Yes, yes.
Um, but so back, I mean, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. So the Angels are actually plus 180 to make the playoffs, which is actually Vegas kind of seems like they might have a pretty decent year. So, um, and then so for my two picks in the NL, I'm gonna go with one that's kind of a little off the wall.
Oh my God, those
Uh,
to the Marlins.
no, I'm not gonna go with the Marlins. I wish I could. Seriously say the Marlins, even though I don't think anybody can at this point. I'm gonna go with one team. I don't think they're gonna get the first wild card spot, but they could get the second one. Give me the Colorado Rockies. I live in Colorado.
Yes, you live in
I
Colorado. You can't
yes,
believe
it's not
fan
it's
base
not a
stuff.
bias
We get
though.
it.
So I live in Colorado. I hear all the time about people like, hey, Rockies. Blah, blah, blah. So I started looking into the Rockies, right? And I look into their lineup, and their lineup is really solid. And I look at their home road splits as far as like pitchers and stuff like that. And you got to remember they had a pitcher on their team who was one of the candidates for Cy Young not too long ago. And they have Herman Marquez, who's a really good arm. And they got their lineup. They have the best third baseman in all of baseball. Nolan Arenado is 100% the best third baseman in all of
Stud.
baseball. You got Charlie Blackmon who can hit and he can play the outfield. Trevor Story, Ian Desmond isn't playing, but that's a great team. Daniel Murphy's on that team. If he can
So
kind of
look,
reclaim.
they finished 20 games under 500.
Oh, they were terrible last year. They were
And who
terrible
was their
last year.
best off-season addition?
Matt Kemp.
Who?
Matt Kemp. He can look. See, but you
Guys,
might be saying that, right? But as a Dodger fan, you got to tell me that Matt Kemp didn't give you his best years in baseball.
Oh yeah.
And he was an MVP candidate, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. He came
So,
out.
and he's going to be playing the DH spot. He's not going to be playing the field very often, which is where he gets hurt. So Matt Kemp might be super effective in that lineup. I mean, that's what I think. And my second pick, and this one's going to be like, why are you picking this team? You should probably be picking another team from the
The
AL
Marlins.
East. No, no,
Oh,
no. Stop with the Marlins already. No, Marlins aren't going to make the playoffs for at least, a ton of years. But my second pick is going to be the Cincinnati Reds. And
who?
the Cincinnati Reds. Um, this is a team who
What?
actually who wasn't so off the wall last year. They were pretty close.
12 games under 500.
Yeah, okay. In the NL, you got to remember that's an inferior division. And the DH spot doesn't help a team more than the Reds because they added Nicholas Castellanos, who's one of the best third basemen. They have Trevor Bauer, who's an amazing pitcher. Suarez, Mustakis, Joey Votto doesn't have to play the field. He can just hit the baseball, which is what he's best at. They have a great lineup, and yeah, I mean it's a wild card pick. That's why I'm using a wild card pick on them. Could I have said the Braves? Yes. Could I have said
The
somebody else?
Mets.
I'm not going to say the Mets. I just don't think the Mets are there. But I could have said somebody else. But I'm going to go with the Reds.
Okay.
And it's a better's pick, right? They're plus 245. They're supposed to finish third in that division. But give me the Reds to get a wild card spot, simply based off their bats and a little bit of pitching here and there.
All right.
So I like the Reds.
Okay.
And let's take it one step further. Who do you like to win the World Series?
If the Dodgers can get Julio Urias to be their solidified number 2 starter
Wait.
behind.
Give me one lock that you want to lock in, and give me one like off the wall World Series pick.
Dodgers. Okay.
Dodgers.
Dodgers lock. Off the wall. I mean, you might laugh at me. But
I think I'll laugh at you.
the New York Mets, man.
There's no
New
way.
York Mets.
No way.
Who thought the Nationals would have won last year after they traded away Bryce Harper?
Not a lot of people.
Not a lot of people. If Michael Wacha and Rick Porcello can go ahead and just give them one more good season behind Jacob deGrom and Marcus Stroman, these Mets, man, they have the Nationals DNA of pitching. We'll see. So that's my off the wall. The Mets lock, Dodgers. Second lock in the AL, definitely Yankees. No one's gonna touch the Yankees.
Yeah, I gotta go with my lock is gonna be the Yankees,
Okay.
and I'm a Yankees fan, yes, but I think it's like, man, this team has just improved so much, and it's gotten better, and just gotten better and better and better, and a
Garrett
team.
Cole helped a lot.
Garrett Cole helps a ton because you have a guy who's going to pitch a one game where the Yankees tend to struggle sometimes and get them off to a good start, and then you have enough bats to get you through the series. You hope, Plus that bullpen is ridiculous.
Yeah. And also these teams who have a dominant ace, right? 60-game season on a 5-day rest, right? You're gonna see them pitching 12 games out of 60 games.
And that's you're gonna get most of those are gonna be wins, or even you're gonna be in the ball game for those games.
So you're guaranteed almost 10 wins, 10-2 of 12 games.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, you got, I know a lot of people don't know a lot of the Yankee starters, but you got Tanaka, who's great, and you got he got nailed, but yeah, Severino, who's great, and then James Paxton, who if he can get back to where he was a couple years ago, he'd be amazing for the Yankees addition. But my off the wall pick, I'm gonna stay in the American League because I really think that's the better division, the conference, whatever. The Oakland A's.
Hey, let's go.
The only reason I'm taking the A's is because of the new formatting. If there's one team that can adjust to a new season, to something crazy, the Oakland A's are them.
Hey,
so Oakland A's wild card World Series pick. You want to throw $20 on it? I mean, I'm not against it. So, but yeah. So I mean, those are our picks. They're very different. And I think for good reason because teams have their strengths and some teams have their weaknesses. Yeah. But you can see, you've kind of picked our brains on why we thought that. As a gambler, I say lock them in now before those lines start to change. Because once teams start winning like the Reds, or they coming out of nowhere like, oh crap, their line is way different than it was before. Or the Mets, God forbid the Mets go crazy and then all of a sudden their World Series odds aren't very good and then you could have locked them in now. So
lock it in.
Lock it in. Mets to win the World Series or at least win their division. That's kind of crazy to me. I feel like nobody said that in a long time. But that's gonna kind of conclude our segment. Chuch and Mandy's picks. We're gonna also be posting it on Instagram. That way you guys can kind of keep up with it, and we can kind of see who was right and who was wrong. And I'm the host. Mandy says he's the guy with the brains, but every time we quiz him, he's like wrong. So we'll have raw numbers to kind of determine who was right, who was wrong. But that was it for us today. If you liked what you saw, drop us a thumbs up. Comment below who you guys think are gonna win, who's gonna win those divisions, and then we'll go
and
from
be
there.
nice when you comment. Be nice.
or don't be nice. I mean, I can talk crap too, so I'm pretty good at it. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. We're gonna be doing this stuff pretty often. We're sports heads. We're gonna be talking a lot of sports. Like I said, disagree with us all you want, but do it in the comments below and make sure you hit that sub button.
Nice.
See y'all later.
Deuces.